Yeah. Woo! What is up, my people? Running Back Nation. Oh, guys, listen, guys. You've been with me on this journey for a long time. I gotta make myself full screen. We'll do this. You've been with me on this journey a long time. You were with me 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't know when it was. Ranting and raving about this dude, man. I was one of the first ones to come out here and say, this dude is a fraud. Get him off of my basketball team. And people hated it. They hated it. All the stuff happened, but he quit, refused to come back. That's crazy. But that actually happened. Never been seen before. Literally, you can't, in the history of the game, you can't, it's never happened before. A player that's not a superstar that requested a trade and refused to come back with 4 years left on his contract. Never happened, bro. We gotta burn that. We gotta burn that.
I'm waving by,
Greg.
I'm waving by, man. It's a happy reminder that he's not a part of our team anymore.
But listen, he refused to come back. This thing lingered for so long. It's not about this happiness, honestly, this happiness, all of this weight being lifted off of us, all of this has nothing to even do with James Harden. Seriously, has nothing to do with him. We had to just play almost an entire basketball season with a max contract player not playing. This was so annoying that the entire offseason, this entire season, it was so annoying. And it's finally over. It's finally over. Before I even speak on James Harden or the trade, I just want to marinate in the feeling, in the thought, in the knowing that Ben Simmons is gone. Ben Simmons is gone. He's no longer a Philadelphia 76er. He's gone. And we never have to do it again. We never have to do it again. We never have to see him come out, bring the ball up half court and hand it to Seth Curry. We never have to see him stand in the corner in the fourth quarter. We never have to see Doc Rivers waste everybody's time arguing with reporters, telling us how great Ben is without shooting the basketball. All of that stuff is over. It's done. I know people loved my Ben Simmons rants. I know that. You can go back and watch the old videos if you want to. And I enjoyed the views and I enjoyed the subscribers, but it came from the heart. It wasn't fun. It seriously was not enjoyable. I know it came off on video on YouTube, enjoyable for the viewer. It was not enjoyable. That was so entertaining for you because it was real. It was real frustration coming from me into the microphone and the video. It was real. It was not fun. I am so happy it's over. And some people say to me, people used to say to me all the time, when Ben Simmons is gone, you're going to have nothing to talk about in your play. Yes, I am. I'm going to be able to talk about the Philadelphia 76ers without this nuisance, without this elephant in the room. Yes, I am. And it's gone. It's over. I can't even get over it. And then I can't even handle the fact that we got rid of him without giving up Tyrese Maxey, without giving up Matisse Thybulle, and we got James freaking Harden in return on our basketball team. Greg, thanks for coming through. I think we're going to have RB Philly Take up in here also. He said he might be able to come through. I sent him the link. We'll see if he pops up, man. I wanted to get as many people as I could on this because there's a lot of people with different feelings. I mean, we all kind of have the same feelings. There's a lot of different perspectives and different. Bro, I was at work today from 10 to 5. I almost couldn't. I literally had to turn my phone off so I didn't get in trouble because I couldn't stop. I had the volume on the TV. I was watching the TV the whole day with the volume on. I wasn't paying attention to anything. It wasn't good. I had to turn my phone off and actually focus so I didn't get fired. And then, do this tonight. So 441 people in here already. Apparently you guys were anticipating this as much as I was. Yes! 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 Ben who? Ben who? And listen, when we go to the phone lines, anybody speaking negative, anybody telling me, oh my God, we gave up Andre Drummond. Oh my God, we gave up Seth Curry. Oh my God, we got fleeced. I'm banging on you. I'm banging on you right away. I'm hanging up right away. No disrespect. I'm banging on you. I'm banging on you. There's no Negadelphians today. Damn it. The thing about Philadelphia fans is we can never be happy. You just got James Harden. You just paired James Harden with Joel Embiid on the same basketball team. You got two superstars for the first time since 1983, and you just can't find a way to be happy. And you're going to talk to me about Seth Curry and Andre Drummond. I'm banging on you right away. Woo! Greg, give me something, man.
Oh, shit. I had a blast the last 10 minutes and 29 seconds just letting you live in that moment, man.
It was fun.
I'm all ears just to let you enjoy this moment. I mean, I know that you've been ahead of the rest of the pack when it comes to Ben Simmons hate. I'm sure we're going to get into the trade. This is my third different stream today. I've said a lot about it. I'm sure a lot of people in this chat have seen me today and talk about it, know my opinions on it. I am right where you are, man. This is the biggest chip off of a shoulder that we've ever needed as the city of Philadelphia. We have two top 15 guys. There is nothing you can bring me down about right now because this is the best team that team's ever been.
Yeah, I mean, man, there's a lot of different things I want to talk about. I got 7 different Twitter tabs up. I'm going to bring up some things, definitely some talking points that need to be had. But just my initial thoughts on James Harden joining the team, like I've been saying all week long. It's another player on the floor that draws a double team. It's another player on the floor that is very hard to guard one-on-one. The whole thing with him with Brooklyn and whether or not he was hurt or not the past couple of days, and there was things said during the All-Star draft that we're going to play on here because it was hilarious. Charles Barkley is just an absolute gem of a human being. I love him to death. Philly through and through, even though he didn't want to come here when he was first drafted here and all that stuff, but he loves Philly. That's the thing about Philly. People grow to just love Philly. Charles Barkley didn't even want to be here, and he loved Philly when he got here. And James Harden is going to love Philly. I have a clip also from Knicks Fan TV because he was on with Max Kellerman a while ago, months ago. And Max Kellerman was saying the Knicks would love to be the Nets. They would love to be able to have the culture that the Nets have with James Harden, Kyrie Irving. And CP, the franchise, looked at him and he said, "What culture are you speaking of?" He said, they asked James Harden what it sounded like in the arena today, and he replied with, there was a lot of Knicks fans in the building because there wasn't any Nets fans there because nobody cares. Nobody cares in Brooklyn. It's not the New York Knicks. We agreed that Ben Simmons can't play in Madison Square Garden. Ben Simmons can't play in front of Knicks fans. Nobody cares in Brooklyn. This was a perfect situation for Ben Simmons, but the lack of the passion from the fans is due game one. As soon as James Harden touches the ball, he's going to be absolutely in love with Philadelphia's fans. It's going to be amazing. He just is, and that's what happens.
I'm gonna say this as I've said hours today. I couldn't imagine the trade going any better. I couldn't. Are the Sixers going to deal with something later down the road, 3 years from now, 4 years from now? Of course. But it's nothing to do with this deal. This deal is all for the next year and a half. The fact that Harden picked up his player option instantaneously is showing you how welcoming he is to this situation. The only reason he asked out of Brooklyn in the first place and asked out of Houston in the first place, DJ, was to come to Philadelphia. Brooklyn was not his main destination last year, if you guys remember.
Houston.
It was it was Philadelphia. This man wanted to be in Philadelphia from the moment Daryl Morey's been here. It's a different James Harden. This team right now, this Sixers team, I think, is the hungriest team in the NBA. We have Embiid. We have the entire process. We have Daryl Morey, who's never won a championship. James Harden, who knows his legacy's on the line. This is the hungriest team in the NBA. And what I love the most right now, DJ, is the fact that Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, and 80% of people who have come into my chats today have hated this deal for Philadelphia. And I'm saying bring it on, baby, because Philadelphia, the city, and every single sports team that Philadelphia has thrives off of that. Thrives. It just reminds me of that Eagles team, man. Everybody sleep on us, please.
I
Please.
love it. I love it. And I think just knowing that we have the talent now to be considered a contender, it makes me feel good because even this season, yeah, we were in certain situations, we were a game and a half out of first place, or we were a half game out of first place, or whatever. And it felt like there was this pressure from Sixers fans for me to talk about the team like we were like we could beat anybody. But in the back of my mind, realistically, I was like, dude, no, we can't. Like, we can't. We have this problem. We have this problem. We have this problem. And I'm not saying James Harden fixed all of those problems, but I'm saying I feel like now there's two superstars on this team. You got to keep Tyrese Maxey and Matisse Thybulle. I can actually 100% honestly feel like the Sixers can compete with anybody in the league.
100%.
And that just feels amazing because I don't have to feel like, oh, maybe I can talk myself into this work. Like the whole Ben Simmons era was me trying to talk myself into something that I just felt inside me didn't make sense or wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
This is like now, if we do things in the buyout market, backup point guard, backup stretch for whatever it is, veteran leader, some kind of dog off the bench, whatever it is, maybe we can make this team even better. But I honestly 100% feel like now, for the first time in my entire life, and I lived through the Allen Iverson era, that team was garbage outside of him. There was Aaron McKee, Eric Snow, Matt Geiger. Like, there was so many. I could name them all. There wasn't anybody on that team. He drugged nobody. They were always that team that was like, they're not supposed to be here. Now I finally feel like this is a team that can get there and beat everybody. And I don't care if it happens to this year or next year and doesn't happen again for the rest of my life. At least it happened once if it happens.
Amen.
If it happens.
And if you look at the brass taxes of the trade, how many people were screaming, throw Thybulle in, just get the deal done, Daryl. Daryl Morey is the epitome of the process, and we trusted it. We trusted this man with everything. This man's patience paid off. We got a deal done for a top 15 guy in the NBA who had a 30-point triple-double last week, if you guys forget, when KD was off the court. And we didn't do it. We did it without trading Tyrese Maxey or Matisse Thybulle. We got rid of an expiring contract in which I love Andre Drummond, but he wouldn't have re-signed. And we traded Seth Curry, who has been abysmal lately, but it's hard to see him go. And we traded around first-round picks and a guy who would have never played in this city ever again. It's a win of a trade. But the thing is, it's a win for both teams. And that can be true. I know in this day of age, people want fleeces on every deal, but the Brooklyn Nets had a great trade there too. It had a great trade, man. Ben Simmons fixes a lot of problems. We talked about that last week about how, Brooklyn's one of those cities that Ben can come in and just do his thing. So Ben's a winner in this trade, Brooklyn's a winner in this trade, and Philadelphia is too. All of it can be true.
Yeah, we were talking about that all last week, basically. I didn't see how Brooklyn could turn this down. That's why I knew it was going to happen. I just knew it. I knew it had to, because I was like, listen, if James Harden, it's where there's smoke, there's fire. If James Harden doesn't want to be there, they can't wait past the trade deadline. They can't. If they have the opportunity to get Ben Simmons and Seth Curry and draft picks, whatever. I know they gave up a fortune for James Harden, but if they have the opportunity to get a 25-year-old, one of the best defenders in the NBA, transition, great vision, speed, size, rebounding, and put him on the court with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, you absolutely have to take that rather than let James Harden walk for free. So I knew they were motivated to make the trade happen. Daryl Morey was obviously motivated to make the trade happen. Daryl somehow, some way made it happen without giving up even Matisse Thybulle. And I was, I spent all day yesterday and the day before arguing with people about Matisse Thybulle. If that's what it takes, you throw him in. I was saying the whole time I love Matisse Thybulle, but you throw him in. They didn't even have to throw in Matisse Thybulle. And there's still people saying we gave up too much. We gave up a center on a veteran minimum 1-year deal who wasn't going to be here next season. He's still a very good center. He's going to be a starting center for another team next year. He's going to get paid. He wasn't going to be here next year anyway. You gave up a center that wasn't going to be here, a player that's refusing to play, and Steph Curry's younger brother. That's what you gave up for James Harden.
It's crazy. And if you even look at it further than that, Daryl Morey, since he came into Philadelphia, traded Josh Richardson. I mean, that's what it is. It's
Yeah,
Josh Richardson because that's
yeah.
what he traded for Seth Curry. And I mean, this man's he's as good as it gets in the front office. And I love my favorite thing about this is now Nets fans are trying to convince themselves that Ben Simmons is going to be on like a revenge tour and he's going to
Oh,
like
it's
do
amazing.
everything he hasn't been able to do the last couple of years. I think these Nets comments are my favorite because not only is it everything that is what they said last year that they're now disagreeing with, like now that they're believing in Ben Simmons all of a sudden, but they're like, oh, he's younger, he's better, he's like, oh, he's gonna lock him down. What evidence has Ben Simmons given anybody in ever that he's going to be a playoff performer? If anything, we're just going to be drinking a lot of Wendy's Frosties, baby. A lot of Wendy's Frosties.
Oh man, it's just crazy. Aaron Cabbage, what's up, my man? Run it back MVP as always. Daryl Morey is a golden god. We didn't even give up Matisse or Maxey. I had a doctor's appointment today, and I was like, nope, I'm kicking back and having a drink. We're free of that bum. Man, it's wild. And yeah, I was saying if there's one thing Daryl Morey does, it's make major moves. And this dude, listen, man, he's done nothing but make major moves his whole career as a GM. He hasn't won a ring yet, but man, he came into the Houston Rockets situation with Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady and flipped them for James Harden, a young James Harden. And people thought he overpaid for that version of James Harden. That ended up being one of the best scorers in the history of the NBA.
Yep.
And, he made a big move after big move. Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, he tried superstar after superstar. A lot of times we think he values big names over fit and things like that. But this was a big name and a perfect fit. I mean, it's just a guy at the top of the key that demands the attention from the defense and a guy in the middle that demands the attention of the defense. And now you just got Tyrese Maxey running around free. Like what? Like he can play like a shooting guard role, like an Allen Iverson role. Like you can, I'm not saying Doc's going to be that creative, but maybe,
But you know what?
maybe.
You know what Doc can't do anymore? Sit all four of those guys at the same time because we'll have his head in an hour. The thing is
Yeah.
that our rotations, our bench is not as deep, but now that we have Harden, literally just plug and play, we're going to have the ability to stagger so many different talented guys that our bench is just going to be better just based off of, addition. And it's incredible. I mean, it really is. And people are like, Harden isn't a playoff performer. Yeah. I mean, his history, he's had some pretty bad games. But he's also probably the biggest competitor that Golden State Warriors franchise ever had outside of LeBron James. And
Yep.
he was also the number one for every single team he's ever been on outside of the Brooklyn Nets. And in that 16-game span, they played 16 games together. I think they won 13 of them. So Harden as a number two is immediately the best number two in the NBA. And not only is
Yeah.
he a number two,
Oh
but
yeah.
he's the number two on the MVP's team that plays center. The best big
Right.
man that Harden will ever play with. And he
Yep.
knows it's crunch time now. He knows it's crunch time because it's win now or you'll never win anything. This is his last chance.
Yeah, and listen, the whole thing we've been saying for a couple of years is we need a point guard for Joel Embiid. Oh my goodness. James Harden is second in the NBA in assists per game without trying. Literally,
Yeah.
with playing on a team without KD one day, without Kyrie one day, like jogging up and down the court, out of shape, whatever you want to say, 10.1 assists per game in that situation. Imagine what he's going to play like when he's motivated, when he actually thinks his team, because the guy is a diva. And when he's in a situation that he's like, this team sucks. I'm going nowhere. What am I doing here? I left Houston to come here for these guys. This guy can't play. This guy's injured. The rest of the team is trash. What am I doing with the rest of my career? That's what he's thinking in Brooklyn. And he's like, I'm out of here. I want to go somewhere else. And that is a diva mentality, but he's that good that he can do that.
He's also finally where he's been trying to go for the last 2 years.
Yeah, and it's just I feel like he's going to look at this team, youth, Joel Embiid, and just potential and be a lot more motivated than he was over there. And at the end of the day, man, dude, a lot of people never played in front of Philly fans. It's a different level of energy. It's a different level of pride and care and just passion and something about if it was new if he was if they would have went to the Knicks, maybe it'd be a different story. Those fans are pretty much just as crazy as Philadelphia fans and as passionate and as as caring about the game. But Brooklyn, man, just Brooklyn. Nobody cares in Brooklyn.
Nah,
Nobody cares.
I've been to games. That's not anything to write home about. I mean, it's a good trade for Brooklyn, man. But to expect Ben Simmons is going to do anything more than the bare minimum for you is just uneducated. I think it's going to be something that Nets fans realize in a span of 4 weeks.
That's
It's
the
4
crazy
weeks
thing
from now.
about that's the crazy thing about the trade. Like, you knew you were getting James Harden, so that's the best you could do for your team at the time. But you knew in getting James Harden, you were possibly making the Brooklyn Nets better if Kevin Durant is healthy, if they lift the mandate and Kyrie can play, and they got Ben Simmons and Seth Curry. You just made them better too, but you got to give to take.
Yep.
And you went from not a title contender and not a favorite to being maybe the 1A and 1B of the Eastern Conference. So you bolstered them also. I think Ben Simmons is an amazing fit next to Kyrie and Kevin Durant with his defense and his transition and his ball handling and vision and all that. And honestly, as much as I hate the guy on a personal level, I would love to see him get back to playing basketball. You know what I mean? I would love to see him get back to doing what he did well in Philly. I'm a basketball fan. I hate him, but I think he's an insanely talented, just gifted individual, and I would like to see him play basketball. I mean, I'm gonna root against him all I can. I'm never gonna be happy for anything that he does, but I'm just saying, like, it's such a great fit for Brooklyn. It's so good for us to finally get rid of the guy and bring James Harden here to pair with Embiid. I think it helped both teams, and I think the Brooklyn Nets and the Philadelphia 76ers are the front runners of the Eastern Conference. And my God, if we get an Eastern Conference Finals, I won't even be able to breathe.
I think it'll be, honestly, not a 4-0 sweep, but I mean, if that New York City mandate doesn't change, Kyrie's not going to play in Brooklyn. And what makes you think Ben Simmons can either A, play in Philadelphia, come to Philadelphia, or even imagine who the heck did they have to guard Joel Embiid? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? You think Ben Simmons is going to all of a sudden strap on his big boy pants, come to Philadelphia, and play well? Nah, dude. I'll see it when I believe it. I don't believe in him at all.
RB is in the chat. RB's on the stream. My bad. RB's on the stream. RB was in the chat earlier. RB is on the stream. What's up, my guy?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? We are here. We've made it. Not sure what you guys went over thus far, but if I can just give my quick spiel, we did it. We did it. In Morey, we trust. You know, hey, at the end of the day, Daryl held packed. He held strong. Shout out to the chat. You guys are going nuts, man. Shout out to DJ, Greg, me, every other guy up on here, man. It's been tough talking about this team, man. It's been rough. You know, it's like, what is going to happen? I was just talking to DJ last night, and I'm like, yo, what's going to happen the rest of the season, man? Like, what if we don't make a trade? But deep down, Daryl Morey, as I told y'all last week, man, he is a basketball fan first. He could not just sit here and just imagine the rest of this season with the way Joel is playing, man. The way Joel's on a different level, and now we have James Harden paired with him. I'm sure you guys are probably going to address all the takes. I know there's probably some crazy people in here saying we lost the trade or we got come on, man. We got James Harden, Joel Embiid. It's a new age in Philadelphia basketball. The fraud is gone. It's gone, man. Like, at the end of the day, we could talk about Harden for the next however many months. The fraud is no longer here. And
Fraud is gone.
I'm going to address him by his name, Ben Simmons. He's gone. The 2-5 movement is retired, and the man is out of the city, man. He's gone. He's not coming back to this city, and he is now addressed by his legal name again. Ben Simmons, the fraud. He's a loser, man. And I don't know if you guys saw, he's getting ramped up to play already. So
Oh yeah, his mental health issues are totally gone, man. He should really have some kind of organization where he helps other people with mental health issues overcome them as quickly as he did, because he overcame mental health issues way faster than anybody with actual mental health issues, and it's a slap in the face to anybody that's ever actually suffered with mental health issues. The guy's an absolute scumbag. The fact that he pulled that out, him and Rich Paul pulled that out. Hey, I know how you can get paid without playing. Just pull this out. They won't be able to say anything because nobody can say anything when you pull out mental health, and they'll have to pay you because they'll be worried about their public perception. And you know what? You know how hardcore just Josh Harris and these billionaires are? They didn't give a flying shit. They were like, oh yeah, mental health, huh? Not getting paid. And they were like, oh, what about the public image? Josh Harris was like, bro, I'm on a yacht in Miami. You think I give a damn what you're talking about? We're not paying him. He's on the phone with Daryl. Don't pay him. Don't pay him. Don't pay him. Don't pay him. They played hardball, and it made Ben look stupid in the long run because everybody knew it was fake, dude. Everybody knew it. It just
Dude.
I'm excited. I'm excited for Brooklyn because Brooklyn calls James Harden a quitter for being the only guy left to play when Kyrie literally quit and KD was hurt. I can't wait to see what they expect from a guy that legitimately quit and lost $13 million over it. He's going to be a great therapist one day, though, man. He really understands how to beat mental illness in a span of 38 minutes.
oh yeah, he just overcame it really so quickly, man.
You know what's crazy
Wow.
is how, first off, I mean, just an amount of absurd takes. Like I'm sitting, it's been like 7 hours now. I'm still reflecting. I mean, the Sixers got James Harden, guys. Like, we are never that team that gets the second star. Like, as much as I was preaching it down low, I'm like, man, like, is it going to be another one of them years? And we actually got it done. And people, let me just address this, right out here. If you guys are mad about this trade, I mean, the Sixers won this trade, and I'm not saying the Nets lost. Like, it's a good trade for both sides.
Yep.
But take away the fact that 2-5 Ben Simmons, he wasn't even playing for us. He's never going to play for us. So we got rid of Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, a protected or an unprotected pick or whatever in 2027 and one in 2022. I mean, we just got James freaking Harden, man. And I can already think of 10 ways off the top of my head how this makes the rest of our team better. But just in general, we finally get this head case away from our team.
Mm-hmm.
Now they got two of them in Brooklyn, and we just don't have that drama anymore, that elephant in the room. As much as everybody wanted to deny it, this team is going to be much better off without, and I can't wait to see it in action, man.
Yeah, and he opted into his player option, so we have him for next season. At which point you can make a decision. Listen, if he comes out, has a nagging hamstring injury, doesn't play in the playoffs, has the injury all next season or whatever, and it comes out as the James Harden thing was a failure, you still got rid of Ben Simmons, who wasn't going to play here anyway, and took a chance on a superstar by giving up Seth Curry and Andre Drummond. It was still the best thing you could possibly do.
Exactly.
And you're looking at it like if the guy has 3 prime years left, 4, if he's motivated to try to win with Joel Embiid, you're taking advantage of Joel Embiid and James Harden for the next 3 to 4 years. Maybe you win one, maybe you don't, but you were in a situation with Ben Simmons that you had to get rid of him. You got rid of him for James Harden.
Dude, and you kept Maxey and Thibault. You kept our 2 prime young pieces. We're moving forward, okay? I mean, look, Andre Drummond and Curry, as much as I love them, they're replaceable players. They're easily
expiring deal, man.
Yeah,
Drummond wasn't going to re-sign anyway in the offseason. It's an expiring deal. It's
right.
an amazing
And what did you get Drummond for? A couple $1 million. What did you get Seth Curry for? Josh Richardson.
I literally we were just talking about that.
Yeah, and I want to say something as well. In Morey we trust, but let's look even further for a second, okay? Since this guy came in as president of operations, okay, he got rid of Al Horford's terrible contract, got Danny Green back. He got rid of Josh Richardson, brought in Seth Curry. He drafted Tyrese Maxey and Isaiah Joe. And now he just got a dude who has not stepped on the floor out of this team and brought back James Harden. It is time to put our full trust in Daryl Morey. And you want me to go a step further? Even if it doesn't work out this season, I have the utmost confidence that he'll trade Tobias for another great player. Daryl Morey gets things done. And like I said months ago, he always gets the big names. He makes something happen, even when you think there's no chance. I trust this guy with this team going forward. I think we're in a really good spot, man.
Incredible spot. I mean, I've always been the biggest Daryl Morey fan since his days pre-Philadelphia. I've always trusted him. I really have. But the only thing I was a little questionable was if he wanted to wait until the offseason. And, RB, you were the one dude in that 6-man panel that was like, it's getting done. And I was like, you're crazy.
Yeah,
you're crazy.
You were. All 5 said no. We all 5 said no.
It got done. It got done. And am I surprised? No. But was I expecting it? No. But Daryl Morey, year after year, shows that he is among the greatest at what he does. And the fact that he held off on all of that pressure from Philly fans, every news reporter anywhere, every analyst everywhere saying, just trade him for this. Oh, CJ McCollum, you lost them. What now? What now? The dude says, hold up. I've been tampering with this league since I came into Philadelphia. Let me get the guy I came here for. Man, it just absolutely revives this city. It really does. I mean, Embiid's playing the best basketball of his career, and now we're giving him the best teammate of his career, a guy who can go out and get his own bucket, like an end of the fourth quarter guy. Like, I mean, Harden fixes so many problems. We can't rebound for shit. James Harden gets 8 of them a game at the point guard, shooting guard position. We can't pass the ball. Nobody averages over 5.5 assists per game. Oh, good thing Harden averages 10 and is second in the NBA. We have no shot creator who can't shoot or can't score his own bucket. Good thing we have a generational scorer on the team now. Oh, by the way, he's going to be our second best player. Does he play defense? No. Does Seth Curry play defense? No. It's literally it's defense. The only thing Harden can't do, we didn't get any worse at by bringing him in. That is insane. Daryl Morey is playing chess, and everyone else is playing checkers.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Do you think Tyrese Maxey starts next to him, or do you think Tyrese Maxey comes off the bench and we have like a bench rotation that's like gives us a deeper team?
Maxey should stagger minutes a lot. He should be the main guy playing with the bench unit, but I think at least to begin, he's going to be the starting point guard.
Yeah, he's going to start. And this is such a great trade for like I said, this trade makes us so many ways better. I mean, not only does Tyrese get to learn more of the point guard kind of mindset from James Harden. In addition to that, Greg just named like 4 different ways it makes us better. In addition to that, I mean, there's just so many ways that this makes our team better. But let me tell you guys something. In my opinion, this is unfinished business. And if you would have told me last year at the trade deadline that we would end up trading Ben for James Harden to Brooklyn, I mean, I would have said you're crazy.
Without Maxey or Thibault.
Without Maxey or Thibault, which is even more insane. I was ready to give up on Thibault, and I love the kid. I was ready to let him go. But look, man, Daryl Morey and James Harden are more motivated than ever. They both want a ring. Joel Embiid wants a ring. I don't think we're finished in the near future or the long term. I think Daryl's going to do what it takes. Now we become more of a destination as well. Like, what other role players wouldn't want to come when you see the Sixers playing well?
No, the buyout market.
Harden and Embiid, man.
Buyout market's got to be big, man. Not only do we need a backup 5, in which I think there are a couple options like Tristan Thompson, Bismack Biyombo maybe is going to get available, maybe some like rim runner, because Harden historically plays very well with athletic rim runners. But people want to come to Philadelphia, so we need a backup 5. We could even get a backup point guard. I really liked Schroeder. Now we have Harden and Maxey. Maybe it's a little different. Maybe like a Goran Dragic, as I said in our 6-man panel. If that's available, you jump on that because that's a veteran leader for the second unit that can carry the unit a little bit. Bro, if the Sixers can do some damage in the buyout market, because we're not done yet with this roster, I think we would be the favorites to win the NBA championship.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. We're finally going to be a destination, because who wouldn't? What veteran getting towards the end of their career that wants to win a championship wouldn't want to join James Harden and Joel Embiid? So now you're going to see like the Markieff Morris of the world and players like that the Montrezl Harrells, the type of players like that just journeymen that are always like holding down the bench of a team and trying to win a ring. You're going to see those players start to come here, and we're finally going to have veteran players that want to sign here and try to help us win. Pat Beverly type of players and players like that we seem to never have. We never have those veteran players that just are on a team trying to win a ring, trying to be the dog off the bench. And
Crowder, man.
Yeah, man. Oh my God, it's crazy. Let me get through everybody supporting the channel, man. Pope Platinum Beats, what's up, my guy? The Sixers championship odds went from 12-1 to 7-1 today in Vegas. Man, I was gonna put my sister actually talked me out of it. I was gonna put $1,000 on the 76ers earlier in the season, because I was like, the odds are so low right now. What if a big trade happens and then we become title favorites? Do you know what the payout would have been on that $1,000 bet back in the day? It would have been $48,000. And obviously I didn't do it, and they still might not win a championship, but I'm just saying I almost did that. So the odds are a lot higher now, obviously, with the James Harden trade. Plotnik, what's up, man? Harden plans to wear number 1 according to Chris Haynes. He's taking it. He's taking it, man. He's putting the Superman cape on already. He's saying, you know what? Screw it. I'm in a perfect situation right now. I got 3 or 4 prime years left. I'm wearing number 1.
Dude, that's going to be a sick jersey. I'll tell you that.
Oh, my God. James Harden, number 1, Sixers jersey. Oh, my goodness. Put them on the racks right now. Sell them for $500 a piece. They're selling out. They're selling out, man. Camden, what's up? Who do y'all think we could target in the buyout market? I say we get someone athletic who can rebound like a machine. We'll talk about that more as we go. Greg touched on it a little bit. There's a lot of you guys, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. If Doc ever runs a lineup in a close game, Matt L, what's up, man? If Doc ever runs a lineup in a close game with Maxey, Joel, and James on the bench together, he needs to be fired in game. This team should be Doc proof. That's a good way to put it, man, because the 2008 Boston Celtics were Doc proof. And yeah, man, like even just last game, we know the roster was shorthanded or whatever, but it's like you can still do things a little bit more creative than what you're doing. Now it's like you can't put an all bench lineup out there having James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid. You know what I mean? I don't see it happening, but Doc might surprise us or not surprise us, whichever way you're looking at it. Philly Sports, what's up? I cannot wait till March 10th. March 10th, it is. We play the Brooklyn Nets. And that's what we were saying, Greg. You know, you don't think Ben's going to come back here and play in Philly. You can escape March 10th. But if we get a playoff series, you can't escape 3 games. You can't avoid 3 games. He's going to have to play in Philadelphia if we end up in a playoff series. Oh, my gosh.
You know what's going to be crazy about March 10th? I was just talking about it on Twitter is I have a feeling Joel's going right at Andre Drummond. I feel like, you know, they went from foes to friends, and I feel like Joel's just going to go right back at his neck. And, you know, KD and Harden are going to be jawing. I can't wait. It's going to be a matchup.
I think the whole Drummond Embiid beef is definitely squashed. I think Drummond was a great teammate. So I don't think they dislike each other. But, of course, dude, Embiid's the ultimate competitor. Embiid's going to be like, I want to remind you how much better I am than you. And I mean, I think the biggest move – I think the biggest move in this deadline is the move that wasn't made. I was afraid the Brooklyn Nets were going to trade Nick Claxton and 2 first-round picks to get Miles Turner real bad. I was afraid of that because I thought that would have really made that team a lot better. I thought that team that move probably would have made the Nets over us personally. But the fact that they didn't do that reminds me that there is not a soul in the city of Brooklyn or New York, I guess, the borough of Brooklyn that can guard Joel Embiid. And I saw people say, "Oh, put Simmons at the 5."
Yeah, I was in a space the other day. I was in a Twitter space the other day. There was a Brooklyn Nets fan that was called. It was hosted by a Nets fan or whatever, and they were calling. And I was just listening to all these guys, and this dude was like, "We got Ben Simmons now. He can guard 1 through 5. So even when we play the Sixers, you know, you can have Ben on Joel." And I was like, "Skirt, what? You think Ben Simmons can guard Joel Embiid?"
Oh, I got one to top you. I was in a Nets space for about all of 12 seconds, and I heard this dude say that he was going to be on a revenge tour. Ben was going to be on a revenge tour.
I was in on that.
What?
I heard those words, and I was like, oh, these guys don't watch basketball. They don't know what Ben Simmons is all about. Revenge tour.
And it's crazy that Nets fans are trying to call Harden a quitter and say he doesn't show up in the playoffs. Excuse me, did you watch the Sixers last year in the playoffs? You think Harden didn't show up in the playoffs? How about Ben? Come on, man.
I had a chat earlier today when some of the dudes were like, oh, like Ben Simmons at one point, all the Sixers fans are like, oh, saying your point. And then there was a Nets fan that came in. They're like, yeah, but how many assists did he have? How many 3-pointers did he create? Like being serious. I was like, oh my God.
Dude,
you sound like Doc Rivers right now.
I'm like, no, it's literally all the Simmons fans are just like walking over to Brooklyn and they're like, let's go Nets.
Good. I hope they're not Sixers fans anymore. I hope they take their fanboyism to Brooklyn, man. I hope they move there too and never talk to me again. Alfonso Fuentes, what's up, man? Thanks for supporting the channel. Maxey Embiid, Toby Harden, Green, or Thibault, nasty. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to throw Danny Green in there, but the rest are nasty. Danny Green is just Danny Green. He's kind of done. If we could have tossed him in the trade package, we probably would have. I don't know. I don't know what to say about Danny Green at this point. Connor, what's up, man? I still don't trust Glenn. We don't either. Ben really used mental health like a snake. Absolutely. Embiid and Harden need to win a couple to really see where we are. I'm just happy to be considered, an offensive juggernaut. That's really where I'm at. I was so sick of this defense first, bully ball. We got the best perimeter defender. Yeah, we don't have anyone that can score on the perimeter, whatever, but we got defenders, blah, blah, blah. I'm so sick of it. I just want to score points. I want to beat teams 140 to 137. I don't care. I don't care. Seth, my man, what's up, guys? I'm so pumped that I can't put into words. Yo, Romp, where are you at? I got to bust his balls about Dorkmaz and Morey taking apology notes. I hit up Romp, man. He said he's at a game. He said he could come on after 10, he said. So I'll send him the link. I'll send him the link.
Apology letter around, yo. Everybody. Morey is God. Morey is God, man.
Bro, Rob came on my stream, and before I even let him open his mouth, I said, you know what you got to do. And he got on his knees and apologized to Daryl Morey, and I was like, that's right. Welcome back. I was like, welcome back, Rob.
I need all of that. And that's a good point, Connor, about Glenn Rivers. I don't know if you guys remember. I know DJ was there a couple nights ago in the Twitter space. Definitely follow all of us on Twitter. But I said in that Twitter space, if we get James Harden, now there's expectations. And if we don't produce, guess what? Doc's not going to be here next year. That's another great way that this trade helps us, because if we didn't make a trade, there's always an elephant in the room, right? Oh, well, he didn't have this. He didn't have that. Now we have expectations. If we do get bounced in the second round, guess what? Doc's not going to be here, man. Then it's Sam Cassell time, or it's Dave Yeager time. Like, I think this puts expectations on us, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Wesley Stone, man, what's up, man? The biggest Ben Simmons supporter over these past couple of years, Wesley Stone. There he is, man. Still here, still supporting the channel. We love you. You know what I mean? It's just, people can have difference of opinions and not hate each other. We love you, Wesley Stone. We don't understand what your brain does or anything like that, but we love you as a person, man. I win twice. Sixers win and Ben wins. Yeah, I don't think Ben wins, man. Listen, here's what's going to happen in Brooklyn. Because who's controlling the game in the half court? It's not Ben Simmons. Is he a point guard? No. What is he? So when Kyrie Irving has the ball at the top of the key, or Kevin Durant, where does Ben Simmons go? What's he going to do? Stand under the rim?
It's going to be the roll man.
Oh, I have takes about the Nets. They don't want to hear me though.
They're going to
I can't wait till they see what really happens.
You guys want to know what's going to happen? By the way, the Nets are about to lose their 10th straight to the Wizards potentially.
Yep.
You know what's going to happen? Kyrie's not going to be on this team going forward. I think Brooklyn recognized this situation and they said, well, we only played 16 games in 2 years with our core. I think Kyrie's a head case. I don't think he's going to be there. And I think they're planning on moving on from him. And they're going to hope that the potential of Simmons lives up to what it could be with KD. And I think they're going to retool the roster.
Good luck, man. And what are you going to do this year? What are you going to do this year when Kyrie's not playing? Do you think Ben and KD is going to get the job done? And what, Drummond? Cool. Nope. Enjoy that. No,
they're basically banking on hoping that the New York mayor lifts the mandate so Kyrie can play.
Yeah.
And Cruz Ruiz, BS will get criticized in New York media and he will quit. Then he'll go to LA like he originally wanted and he will quit there too. Fear the beard. I don't know if he will get criticized in New York. That's the thing. People that didn't watch him every game like we did, they don't understand yet. They don't understand how painful it is to watch this guy for 38 minutes on a Tuesday night that on local TV. That's not national. You know what I mean? Like, they don't watch these games. They didn't see this guy play like we did. They don't understand it yet. Boogie Down, what's up, man? Love the content. Ben has it easy in Brooklyn. No one cares about the Nets down here. Just look at Randall. He's getting slaughtered in the media. Exactly, bro. Shout out to Knicks fans. You guys understand what we're talking about when we say nobody cares about the Nets, because it's just not the same, bro.
No, I live on the border of Brooklyn and Queens, and I don't think I've ever seen somebody wear Nets memorabilia ever. I also real quick want to talk about this one comment, which is hilarious, that the one guy's already saying that the Nets are going to flip Ben Simmons for Bradley Beal next year. Like, Bradley Beal is going to do anything different than James Harden.
How are they going to flip Ben Simmons for Bradley Beal?
Good luck giving Bradley Beal $220 million.
That's Jimmy J. He's the classic troll of our channels, and he's just frustrated that the Sixers actually got something done. So shout out to
Brody B. Ben's out of Philly, and now everyone thinks he's a star. Yeah, man. Now everyone's going to jump on him and act like he's the greatest thing ever. All right, let me get through a couple more, and then we're going to move on to something. Aaron Cabbage, bro, keeps hitting me. We traded that bum, got James Harden. My cheeks hurt, bro. I haven't smiled this much since I broke up with my girlfriend. Actually, I don't think I smiled this much when I was dating. Hey, shout out to you, Aaron Cabbage, man. Run it back MVP. John Mack, time to grow out the beard again. Buy 25. Grow it out, man. and never shave it in the first place? Why'd you ever shave the beard in the first place? Joe Cook, thanks for the support. Man, let me get Irish, man. Thanks for the support. 25. Bye, Felicia. Love you guys, man. Love you guys for supporting the channel. Philly Talk Podcast. Nets went from laughing at Ben and now loving him. Exactly. Everybody slandered him in the entire league, and now they're going to talk themselves into it. And they have to. What choice do they have? If we were Nets fans right now, we'd probably be doing the same thing. We'd probably be looking at all the ways that we could talk ourselves into this, the same way that we tried to talk ourselves into it for 2 years. You know what I mean? Plotnik Nets fans can now watch Ben's gym highlights on Insta. They can see his off-season shooting videos. Yeah, absolutely. Alan EU, bro, I'm so happy I couldn't sleep last night. Matt L, Kyrie and Ben Simmons, two dudes that won't take important shots. Kyrie's taking important shots in his career, but recently it seems like he doesn't care about ball too much.
I think he hit the other shot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my bad. I didn't even catch the reference, man. Two guys that won't take important shots. All right, I got you. I didn't even catch the reference, man. So there's a thing on Twitter that I wanted to play on here. It is a 2K video of, and maybe you guys have seen it.
Oh, this is great, man.
It's a 2K video of Ben Simmons. What's the title here? Ben Simmons when he arrives in Brooklyn, or Ben Simmons playing in Brooklyn. There you go. Let me see if I can get the sound on here. I'm already laughing. He's backing down James Harden.
You got to read the caption too. I think it said like Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals or something like that.
Full screen. There we go. Yeah, I bet they run away. Yep. They don't know yet, man. They don't know yet what's going to happen. They have no idea. It's like they never watched the guy play, man. It's like they never watched him play, man. No sympathy, Teeth. Thanks for supporting the channel. Philly fans. James freaking Harden. Clown show done. Go Sixers. Oh, yeah. Thank you all for supporting the channel, man. Wow. 938 up in here. Hit the thumbs up. Ben Simmons got traded, man. Ben Simmons got traded for James Harden, man. Oh, good Lord, man. He got traded for James Harden. I can't handle it.
It's almost unbelievable. You still can't believe it. Another thing I wanted to bring up, I don't know if you guys got into this, but you know, we got to show Tobias some love, and hear me out, all right? Because you know, Tobias he's been playing better. Obviously, it's been kind of a down year for him, but as we've talked about on many streams, Tobias Harris is going to benefit from this trade, and the reason is because he's not going to feel the need to be a number 2 option anymore. There was too much, like I said, there was too much on his plate. Obviously, he'll never live up to the contract, but Tobias is a 10 to 12 shot type of guy. That's what he needs. Give us your 17, and that's it. And Harden, obviously, he's going to find this guy looks. We thought that last year Ben Simmons was getting Tobias Harris more looks. Imagine what James Harden is going to do. Imagine trying to put 2 defenders on Harden and Embiid. I think this is going to open up Toby's game, and he's not going to have to do too much. And hopefully Doc Rivers won't try to hand Tobias, one of the keys of the offense, and he'll let James Harden do his thing. And I think Harden's going to demand the ball. And I think Toby's going to have a better role now. What do you guys think about that?
I think personally, the one thing that I think is going to have to change the most is Doc Rivers' offense is going to have to change. No more Seth Curry dribble handoffs. We don't have a guy that does that. So you damn well best believe that Harden's not going to do dribble handoffs. We got to take more of a modernized approach to the game of basketball on the offensive side. And I'm so excited to see what it is we do. And hopefully Doc Rivers doesn't stick to the exact same system that he's had in place the last 2 years now, because it's not going to work, man. It's not going to work. We're going to have to just let Harden and Embiid do their thing. It's going to open up so much space for Toby. And Tyrese, man, too. Like, how quick is Tyrese Maxey's first step when he catches the ball? He's going to blow by so many dudes just based off of the space that Harden creates for everyone else. It's going to be beautiful.
Absolutely, man. I agree. I think Tobias was put in Tobias fed off of Ben Simmons a lot the past 2 years, and he was put in a tough position when Ben left because we don't have a facilitating point guard. Tyrese Maxey's learning to do that, but it's still not a guy that's taking the ball and demanding demanding the attention of the defense. The defense isn't crashing in on him like they would on Ben. And Tobias just fed off of that so much, and now he has a guy once again that you can't guard one-on-one. Not that you couldn't guard Ben Simmons one-on-one, but Ben would run in transition and kick out. But Harden's going to probably even be better for Tobias Harris than Ben was with just, the defense has to pay attention to him. And then Tobias can get his open shots. He can get open moving to the rim, going downhill, as Doc Rivers likes to say, or around the screen or whatever else. And it's just going to help his game a lot. And yeah, Tyrese Maxey, his step, he's so quick to the basket. And a lot of these guys were forced to try to create from the perimeter. And a lot of times it'd be standing around, passing the ball around the perimeter, and it would end up in a Tobias Harris ISO situation with 4 seconds on the shot clock. I just would, oh my God, we're going to have James Harden handling the ball outside. It's unbelievable. A lot of times we couldn't even get the ball in the post because we'd just be standing there and the defense would be already double teaming Joel Embiid. And it's like, you either got to shoot it or pass it. It was so bad sometimes. And you finally have a point guard that you can just let handle the ball out there.
Yeah. And another thing I love, just going back and watching Harden's game, I love when he does, obviously his dribbles back and forth, right? But you ever catch once in a while, Harden will do like a no-look pass cross court, and it's like the most beautiful thing ever. He's looking off someone to the corner. The dude has vision, man. And I could see a couple Danny Green looks already. Danny Green just chilling in the corner or somebody else. Harden looks off the defense, draws in two, no look pass. I'm excited, man. I think Harden has grown as a facilitator, and the biggest thing is that he's motivated now. Like, you can't really take this year, and he's having a down year. He's still averaging 22 and a half and 11. I mean, come on. And he's going to be motivated as heck now, and he knows Daryl has his back. I think we're about to unleash the beast, and this two-man game is going to be deadly. It's going to be, I think people just need a sample size to see it. And then they're going to be like, James Harden has never had a big man like Embiid. This is going to be scary.
It is going to be scary, man. No, the Wells Fargo Center tweeted the date of the matchup. And, I mean, my dude got trolled by Wendy's. He got trolled by Wendy's. Wendy's tweets 3/11/22, meaning, so we're giving out free Frosties on 3/11 because Ben Simmons is going to miss 2 free throws in the game, and everyone in the Wells Fargo Center is going to get free Frosties. I mean, just an epic troll by Wendy's. Like, how much of a fraud this guy is that he gets trolled by everybody. He gets trashed by NBA legends on national TV. He gets trolled by Wendy's. I mean, like, nobody likes him. He's the joke of the entire world that knows anything about sports.
And you know what? He deserves every bit of it. And I usually I'm gonna sympathize with athletes because they have their head in the media more than anybody ever, and they're in the spotlight, and it's tough under pressure. But nope, Ben Simmons deserves every little bit of it.
Oh, it's crazy that there's expectations on Brooklyn. They talk about Brooklyn fans being fair weather. At the end of the day, there's expectations, and the spotlight's going to be on from the first game you step on that floor alongside Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And I mean, we're going to see. Has he worked on his game? Probably not. And everybody thinks that he's going to become some offensive, like some guru alongside these guys. I think he's going to be the same player. I don't think he doesn't need to improve, right? He's going to dump the ball off he'll have his, his classic 8 points, 13 assists, and
yeah. I mean, he might even be less inclined to score points. He's going to have 5 points and 15 assists kind of games. He's not going to be a scorer at all. I think maybe he was only a little bit of a scorer with Philly because he had to be. Now he's going to feel like he doesn't have to be at all. He's never going to even take a layup.
Honestly, I don't think his assist numbers are going to be as high as they were in Philly because he's not going to touch the ball nearly as much. He's not going to have the offense run around him nearly as much. I don't think statistically he's going to be great. I think it's just going to be defense and whatever the heck he can bring offensively. But
I
mean,
thought that's what he preferred, though. I thought he prefers to be the guy with the ball and everything revolves around him and stuff.
yeah. But
What
I
does he
mean,
do without the ball? He doesn't do anything.
no, he'll pass up on open dunks. The Nets, by the way, are down by 1 with 7 seconds left against the Washington Wizards.
Is Kyrie playing?
Yeah, Kyrie is 31. Cam Thomas is 27.
Wow, Cam Thomas. Shout out to him, man. Yo, Miz, thanks for the support. Tristan Thompson, Gary Harris, Jeremy Lamb, Dragic buyout. I would love a Dragic buyout. I would love Dragic off the bench. Tristan Thompson, I don't know, man. Like, I'm actually a big fan of Charles Bassey. I know a lot of people haven't watched him play. Just watching his college highlights before we drafted him, I thought he was NBA ready. I think the kid can play. I think he has offensive skills that people haven't seen yet, and I think he's a pretty good defender. And I think maybe James Harden, if he ends up on the floor in staggered lineups with James Harden, he can elevate his game a little bit. So, people that try to be Negadelphians, that try to just be angry about this, you got James Harden, but people want to be angry. So they say things like, well, who's going to play backup center? The thing that really boggles my mind is when you trade somebody, people act like that spot is now completely empty. You can't put another player there. Like, you're now playing with 4 players because you traded one of them. Like, dude, obviously you find another player to put in that position. Well, who's going to play? I don't know. They're going to figure it out. They're going to put someone else there. What do you mean? I think Charles Bassey can be a solid backup, a decent backup.
And if the Nets were so deep, then they probably wouldn't be losing their 10th in a row tonight.
Exactly.
That's the point I was going to bring up. Like, me personally, I feel like people are just overrating the Nets. Like, oh, they're going to get back on track and make a playoff push. I don't think the Nets care about this season anymore. Like, when you lose 10 in a row, I mean, that's an eighth of the season almost. I just don't see the Nets really bouncing back in major fashion just because Ben and Curry and Drummond. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking different, but I think Kyrie's on his way out eventually. I don't see the Nets really competing that much this year.
And if they don't compete, what says that Kyrie's going to stay? And if Kyrie's out, that destroys their future.
Yeah, and what's going to happen the first time KD gives some criticism to Ben? What's going to happen the first time Kyrie gets frustrated and with Ben? Like, you thought James Harden in there was just boiling the pot over. What's going to happen with these 3? I mean, you got major questions, man.
You want to hear something crazy? Guess who's the leading scorer for the Wizards tonight?
Kyle
Neto. Neto has 21 and 6 tonight, guys. Neto is going to be the reason the Wizards could give the Nets their 10th loss in a row.
Oh, man. All right. Did you guys hear what Stephen A. Smith had to say on ESPN?
Of course. I love it.
This could potentially go down as the worst day in the career of Daryl Morey.
For the record,
let's just listen to it. This guy, listen, I agree with some of the things he says. I don't know why he's so against this. I don't understand it. You guys have any idea why Stephen A. Smith is so against this?
Let's talk after you play it. Let's let everyone say.
Not definitively, but this could potentially go down as the worst day in the career of Daryl Morey. The worst day. Think about this for a second here. You gave up a shooter in Seth Curry. I hear that he can't guard and Herder got 27 on him in the playoffs. Stop it. The bottom line is he's one of the premier shooters in the game.
He doesn't. He hesitates. He passes up open shots all the time.
Okay, you think about him, he's gone. You gave up 2 first-round picks. How do you go from asking for first-round picks to giving up 2 of them? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. And
5 years ago, bro. What?
When were we asking the Nets for first-round picks?
That was when Simmons days.
And whatever else they gave up. When you think about Ben Simmons and how he complements KD and Kyrie, what he brings to the table in terms of his playmaking ability, his ball handling skills, his basketball IQ, and first and most importantly, his defensive prowess, there's no question, along with Andre Drummond, a big body that Brooklyn desperately needed because we know they were a bit thin on their front line. You take all of those things into consideration, I don't think there's any doubt that Brooklyn benefits from this trade. Now, when you look at Harden clearly can be electrifying. And I'd like KP, Big Perk, and RJ. Can you please put them on the screen so I can look at them and not see this tag right here? I need to look at both of them when I say this. Did James Harden all of a sudden, is he going to take off some kind of bodysuit and be thinner today?
Well, he did it last year.
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait, these are rhetorical questions, RJ. Stay with me, okay? Is he going to lose weight? Is he going to get younger? Is the hamstring injury suddenly going to disappear?
Dude, I wish I could put the video on the screen, but it'll get take the stream. Malika Andrews' faces. She's so shocked at how stupid this is.
What I'm saying to you is this. We're watching what we've been watching over the last couple of years. As great as we know he is, he hasn't been himself, meeting the guy that Daryl Morey was overseeing in Houston. And because he hasn't been that guy, I'm wondering how long can he be that guy? Because I have no doubt he can do it. How long can...
All right, I've heard enough.
Yeah, the Nets lost, guys. The Nets lost.
So when were we asking for first round pick, or is he just talking about how did you go from asking other teams for first round picks to giving up? Well, we got James Harden. He wasn't asking for first round picks in a James Harden trade.
Yeah. Now that wouldn't make sense. I mean, we're getting the better player. Why would we be asking for first round picks? But I would love to hear Greg's theory on this. My theory is that, ESPN is going to run with this story for a good week. They need things to, hear and talk about. And, earlier on my stream today, I issued a formal apology to Kendrick Perkins. I listened to Kendrick Perkins all day on ESPN. The man was spitting the gospel, man. He was speaking the facts. He said the Sixers are the favorite in the East. He was saying this and that. Meanwhile, Stephen A. saying it could be the worst trade in the history of Daryl Morey. Are you serious? The Nets just lost 10 in a row.
Trade him. He gave up Seth Curry and Andre Drummond for James Harden. How could that possibly be the worst trade in the history of Daryl Morey?
It's unreal. They need things to debate about. Like, it's just, I mean, you're killing yourself at that point.
When people like this say Ben Simmons basketball IQ, I feel like that is so overstated. If he had any basketball IQ at all, he would understand how important it is to shoot the ball, to spread the floor, it's basic like spacing. It's basic spacing. It doesn't make any sense. You can't play as a point guard and not space the floor. So he has zero basketball IQ.
You know who has a really extremely high basketball IQ?
James Harden, man.
James Harden. James Harden is one of the highest IQs in the entire game. Dude, what I love so much is, I was telling DJ this earlier on the stream before you hopped in, is that Skip Bayless and Stephen A. are anti-Philly, man. It reminds me of the Eagles championship when they had that Super Bowl run. Nobody believed in us. Dude, this is the hungriest team I've ever been a part of as a fan. Harden and Morey have so much to prove. They've never won it. Embiid wants it more than anyone I've ever seen in my life. The whole process is a culmination for this moment right now. This team's extremely hungry. And I also think I was going to say something. Somebody say something. No, it'll come back.
So when we talk about buyout candidates, when does that happen? Because I'm not really up to like what the official thing is with that. After the trade deadline, when can players sign or be bought out and sign with teams?
I'm not sure. I don't know the exact dates.
I'm not sure. I know there's a deadline date that you have to sign by. But I expect a lot of the dudes to get bought out of their contracts and probably, start looking to sign with other teams.
What I love. I think it's really funny how a lot of people were saying that we should have gotten Bradley Beal and that Harden's declining too much. But if you compare the two, Bradley Beal has had a significantly worse season than James Harden in almost every statistical category. And James Harden is having the worst year of his past couple of years, and he's averaging 2 assists or 2 rebounds shy of a triple-double. So if this is declining Harden in a year that he clearly did not want to be there because he's tired of everything, and he's going to come back and he's just going to be like, oh, just watch, dude. Just watch. Harden is a stud.
Exactly.
Is a stud. 33% from 3 this year. Not great, but he did that with 2 other guards in his face all the time. And now with Embiid, the first time he's ever had a big man who is a legitimate post-domination player. He's going to have so many more open looks. I can't wait to watch James Harden break a zone more than anything, guys. I can't wait.
And listen, Kyrie Irving imploded the Brooklyn Nets, and I'm gonna go find the video I'm going to go find the video from when they first signed all three of these guys. And I said, this is never going to work. This is going to implode because of Kyrie Irving. And I don't think it's 100% his vaccination status. Yeah, that obviously he can't play half of the games because of that. But I think his personality, players don't get along with. He's not bought in to playing basketball. He's not 100%. He's that naturally good at playing basketball that he can just show up and drop 31 like he did tonight. He's just that good. But I think players are around him every day at practice and whatever. They just don't sense that level of like passion for the game and that he's really into it or that he really cares to try to take it to the next level as far as like winning a championship with a team. And I think, James Harden probably realized that after a couple of months of being around the guy and said like, this ain't going to work, man. I don't want to play with him.
And a big knock on Harden that Nets fans always say is like, it's not Philly culture. He's not a hustler. He's not an effort guy. Was Ben Simmons an effort guy? That's okay. I'll take James Harden's everything that James Harden does compared to Ben Simmons, except his defense. So yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah, I think Ben was an effort guy in a certain context. Like as far as
against
trying
the Kings on like the 13th game of the year, Ben Simmons gave us crazy effort.
I mean, as far as effort, or never slowing down Ben Simmons, especially defensively, never taking a play off, playing 100% all game. But when it came to being on the offensive side of the ball, he was scared. You know what I mean? And then I always felt like this. I felt like Ben Simmons used his defensive ability to hide the fact that he can't play offense. So he would just say, all right, well, I'll just keep playing harder on defense. And if I'm just a world-renowned defender, then nobody can talk about the fact that I can't shoot a basketball. And I always felt like it was kind of a cop-out. Like, yeah, he plays amazing defense, but he was using it to not have to play offense. Does that make sense?
100%.
I mean, you're a number one overall pick. You're supposed to live up to the hype. You're supposed to be that piece. And as much as we talk about how James Harden has never had a big man like Embiid, well, Embiid's never had a guard like James Harden. I mean, his game can open up even more. It's already hard enough. Teams play the Sixers knowing that Joel Embiid is going to account for over half of the offense, and they still can't stop him. Now you throw James Harden into that mix. He's adapted his game over time. He's going to find the right looks to get it to Joel much easier, and Joel's going to be able to take pressure off Joel. And now we have two guys late in the game who can get us a bucket on any play. I mean, it's what we've been asking for forever, man. And Harden has adapted his game. He's become a better facilitator. He's obviously, everybody has flaws, but James Harden is that next level scorer that we've been asking for. I wanted a 20-point per game guy. We got James Harden who can give us 30 when we need it, man. I mean, it's going to be special.
This is a great video.
Yeah, this video is amazing. For anyone that hasn't seen it, we got to play it. Let me get through these real quick. Dave Cleva, thanks for supporting the channel. Glad we finally traded Ben so we can move forward with our lives. We definitely have to make a serious splash at the buyout market. I totally agree, man. And Goran Dragic is a name that keeps coming up. I like that. I like a couple other players' names, man. And I think players are going to be more inclined to sign here now that this team looks like a serious title contender. Here's the video of the All-Star draft. And it's hilarious because Kevin Durant tries so hard not to laugh in this. And the funny part is, like, when they ask him, he has to pick between Rudy Gobert and James Harden as the last player on his team in the All-Star game. And he's trying to make up an excuse not to draft James Harden. And it just comes off as like, bro, we know what you're doing. You don't want James. You don't want to pick James. It's funny.
Before getting in this video,
go ahead.
Before getting in this video, I want you to remember who KD's already drafted at this point. He's already had Karl Anthony Towns and Joel Embiid, and then listen to his answer here.
So I'm gonna need some size and some defense and interior.
Yeah.
Especially with Giannis and LeBron James
Without question.
Such great basketball this year. I need somebody to offset that. So I'm gonna go with Rudy Gobert.
I agree.
LeBron's just dying. He's not even trying not to laugh.
That worked out nicely. I mean, he can't let people run through the lane and dunk all the time. That's why he's defending back there.
Hey, that's
the best part.
Hey, when somebody want out, you let them go. Don't let them come back. I'm with you, KD.
That's why I cut my hair off. I was like, I'm gone.
So James Harden goes to
LeBron James.
LeBron James as the final.
There's a little smile. There's a little smile from KD. He's trying so hard not to
of the
break.
All-Star draft.
Shaq.
Is he? Can he? Is he? He hasn't played. Is he healthy?
Who's that?
James. He hasn't played.
He's
like
missed,
what happens if he doesn't?
He got traded. He's healthy now.
He's missed the last 3 with a hammy. See, and now we know why LeBron carries a clipboard with him to the
Hey,
draft.
LeBron.
Oh my
Trust
God!
me right now. He's
Oh, that was so good, man. He got traded. He's healthy now.
Man.
Ben Simmons got traded. He's no mental health issues now. Mr. Rudy Poo, I think a lot of negative reaction is from opposing fan bases. There's legitimate fear in other teams. I agree. Seth Rowe, we got the cat. We got the cat, the invented step back threes, pinch me. We did get that, man. It was a travel actually 10 years ago, but now it's regular in the NBA because of James Harden. Sean Quigg, did you see poor Ish got traded again? The poor dude's been everywhere. Where did Ish Smith get traded to?
Yo, bro, buyout market. I'm telling you, Ish Smith's going to be on the buyout market, DJ. I tweeted that today, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, Ish Smith is going to be a buyout market guy, and I hope to God we bring him in because we called that yesterday.
Neely's Goldmine, shout out to you. I would love Ish Smith off the bench, man. I would love Ish Smith off the bench. I've always loved Ish Smith, man. So 900 people still in here. If anybody wants to call the show, listen, where's the number? Oh, I don't have the right thing up to show the number. Let me try to get it here.
The Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets Twitter page, they just put out a tweet 15 minutes ago, and it says Ben Simmons gets it done on both ends. And they put like a little highlight reel of him like slamming down the ball. It's come on, man.
Really? I can put the phone number up like this, right? All right, there's the phone number. Anybody wants to call in, go ahead and call in. Listen, I'm going to let you know right now. If you got some, well, you know what? If you got negative things to say, if you feel negative about this somehow, some way, if you're that miserable of a person, and you just can't enjoy having Joel Embiid and James Harden on the same basketball team, then go ahead and give us your thoughts. There's the number. Let us know. Brian Santiago, DJ finally got his ball handling guard. Took years of rants, and it's finally here. Yes, it took years of rants. Took years off of my life. But it's here, man. It's here. It's here, man. I don't know what else to say, man. I don't know what else to say. It's here. It just lasted so long. It lasted so long, man.
I mean, that's we can be happy right now. We deserve to be happy, you know? We deserve to be feeling ecstatic and pumped. And if it's going to work out, it works out. But regardless of the outcome, man, today is a great day. It's a big day for the city of Philadelphia, and we deserve it.
Yes, it is.
What anybody else says.
Caller on the line, man. What's up? You're on the show.
Oh, man. But I just got to say, appreciate the show. You're doing a kick-ass job.
Hey,
Watch you all the time. But you don't feel the slightest bit melancholy knowing that we held on to that bum Ben Simmons for so long. Think about it. Back in 2018, 2019 season, we could have had a big three of Kawhi, Embiid, and Jimmy Butler. We would have definitely won the title that year.
I mean, yeah. If you could have pulled that off, you would have. But Kawhi wanted to go to LA from the jump. Am I wrong?
Nah, he did. But I'm just saying, for like a 1 year wonder, I'm grateful we got Harden now. But I'm just saying, it's just like thinking back in the past. It's like, man, we could have traded him a long time ago, but his value was like mad high, and we could have had a chip by now. But I just hope we get a chip in the future. That's all I really wanted to say.
All right, bro. Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
What you guys think about that?
I don't think it was. I don't think that's attainable. Really, I think that's just wishful thinking. We traded for two guys, Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris, and I don't think Ben was getting you Kawhi Leonard. And even after that playoff series, it was not going to happen. I do believe we should have gone farther with that starting five, but you know, things happen and we went downhill, but here we are. So
I agree that we kept them way too long in the sense that, like I always say, that Sam Hinkie would have traded this guy year 2. You know what I mean? Sam Hinkie would have been like, all right, guys, not shooting the ball, get him out of here. Sell him while he still has potential. That's what he did. That's what he did with Michael Carter-Williams. Dude was rookie of the year. His first ever game was a 30-point triple-double, and he traded him.
I mean,
he
almost
would
a
have saw it.
quadruple double. Let's not forget.
I mean, was it really wrong though of us to sit here and expect a man to start shooting a basketball? Like, I mean, he did do other things well. We thought that he would have a chance to get better, right? But first time for everything. So
And look at the guy we get, a dude who has been compared to Allen Iverson for the amount of times he shoots the ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Polar
ridiculous.
opposite, man.
Caller on the line. What's going on? You're on Run It Back Philly. Oh, I don't know where he went. Here's another one. Caller on the line. What's going on? Caller on the line. You're on Run It Back Philly. He gone too. There's too many people calling at the same time. We're crashing the boards. All right. You guys crashed. You crashed the app.
Dude, I can't believe the Nets actually put up that video. That really bothered me.
Caller on the line. What's going on? Hello.
Yo.
What's going on, man?
Yo, DJ Eastwood.
What's up?
This is TJ Martino from the TJ Martino podcast calling in for a very special
what's
day.
going on, man?
Dude, can you believe this? You know what? I remember talking to you guys and saying that we needed to cut Ben Simmons. And I was like, we just got to find a way in the contract to get rid of him. But hey, once we decided to do the long game, some team got desperate and we figured it out. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think that's why Daryl was playing a long game, because he's like, I mean, you said you can cut Ben Simmons, and he's probably like, I mean, I could, or I could just let him sit, and that's kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? Like you're not playing with him. Why would you cut him when you could just keep him? And that's why he said on the radio that one time, this could take 4 years, because this could take 4 years. I'll just let him sit until I get the value that I think I deserve in return.
Yeah. And you know what? The funny thing is with the Stephen A. Smith thing, it's like he was complaining about us giving picks away, right? But it's like, how else were we going to get that trade gone? Because if we don't give the picks away, then we're giving away Thibault or Maxey. Or, so it's like, you pick your poison there. And it's like, well, why even keep the picks to draft young players when we have two young prospects that are already developing pretty well? It was kind of, why are you dogging us for getting rid of picks that, we kind of had to get rid of, we had to give something to the table. We're giving two decent, rotation players, and, we had to give up some more value to get a big name like Harden. So, I was fine giving the picks away.
Yeah. And I don't care about picks. Like what?
Right.
Like who cares about picks? We're trying to win a championship in the next 3 to 5 seasons. I don't care about picks.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know what? Like my thing with Harden is like, who knows what's going to happen with it. So you said that he picked up another year on his deal. So
Yeah.
we have another year with him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We'll see how this goes. I mean, cause I'm just scared that he's gonna, this isn't going to work, but again, I think defensively it's a net zero. I mean, we didn't lose anything defensively to pick up this guy. So and I think somebody mentioned that earlier, and I think that's a really great point. It's kind of brilliant because we had no losses defensively. And so bringing on a guy like Harden, I mean, it's really just a swap for him and Curry in that sense. And, Drummond was a rental anyway. So, we can afford to dump him. And because, I mean, think about it. Drummond, I think, was on an expiring deal. And this summer, any team would have picked him up. I mean, he's having a great year as a backup center. He's arguably the best backup big in the league. So, it worked out. And, Morey, he's always, he's a good guy. He's a good GM. He has a head on his shoulders. So it's impressive. And, I'm happy that we're in this position where we can finally, maybe make a run. And if not this year, then next year, maybe load up in the summer and dump Tobias's deal and see what happens.
Yeah, man.
We got cards to play with.
Couldn't agree more, TJ. Thanks for calling, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Later. Yeah, I mean, Andre Drummond was on a 1-year veteran minimum, right?
Like, Sixers fleeced the Nets, man.
Yeah, I got two things real quick. One, what do we constantly complain about in Philadelphia? how long our window is. Is 2027 going to be a year that we're probably really fighting to win a championship? If all goes well, probably not. We probably have won one by then. So that's my first take on draft picks. Number two, I got two more actually. Number two, we're a top team in the NBA now. What are those picks going to be? Late 20s? All right, have at it. Go crazy.
That's the main point.
Because number three, what is our track record with picks? We've had, two good picks since Embiid? And you know what? We kept those two good picks. That's the craziest thing. So you think the Sixers are going to hit a home run on pick number 26 when we can't hit a home run on number 1?
I'm pretty sure we drafted Furkan Korkmaz 26 one year.
Yeah, no, I think he was either right before or right after Pascal Siakam. So
he was right after.
Well, let's how Philadelphia's track record is drafting. So yeah. So would you trade Jaden Springer? Basically, just think about it like that. Would you trade Jaden Springer in this deal? Of course.
Exactly.
People are just absolutely delusional. I mean, we gave up a 2027 protected first round pick.
And only two, bro. Houston traded like how many first round picks to get Harden?
This is what I was yelling for days. The Nets were the ones with their backs against the wall. The Nets were the ones in a corner. I said that it was obvious that I was like, if James Harden wants out, they have no choice. You have to take what we offer you. No other team in the NBA is offering you a 25-year-old potential talent like Ben Simmons. They're gonna say yes to the deal. I knew it.
Dude, Morey is such a god. I mean, the Nets wanted us to throw in Matisse Thybulle, and he said, nah, I'll give you a 2027 protected first. That might not even be yours until 2028. I got the utmost confidence in this guy. And, speaking of what you guys just said about the 4 first rounders and 4 pick swaps for James Harden, their entire future is cooked. And when Kyrie leaves, I'm telling y'all, Kyrie will not be a Net next year. They're going to be sitting here hoping that Ben becomes better than the difference of 3 first round picks that they have lost, or 2 first round picks, the other one in 2027. Like, they have lost so many future first round picks. And I mean, in the near future, they don't have a lot of draft capital. So they're going to have to really hope that Seth Curry and Ben can amount to that. Drummond's probably going to leave. So
what the pick is too, is the 2027 pick is a 1 to 8 protection. And if the Sixers get it, if the Sixers hold on to it, it turns into a second round pick and $2 million.
There you go. Yeah, I mean,
wow,
dude.
And the James Harden signing, man. Greg said it the other day. You already had Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. You traded all of that for another ball dominant scorer instead of trying to, instead of keeping your role players and trying to balance your entire team and have, some interior defense and Jared Allen and Karis LeVert and it's just crazy that they did that. But that's what you get when billionaires start playing 2K with real players. These guys most of them were born into billions of dollars. They buy basketball teams as an investment. They profit off of them, but they shouldn't be making decisions. Josh Harris shouldn't be making a single decision when it comes to basketball. Howie Roseman, or not Howie, well, he shouldn't either, but Jeffrey Lurie shouldn't be making a single decision when it comes to football. No, these guys shouldn't be making decisions. They get a big head and they say, no, they're literally sitting in their house like they're playing 2K with their other billionaire friends. They're like, dude, now let's get James Harden. Now let's add James Harden and we'll just dominate the whole league. And they trade 7 first-round picks for the guy. It's unbelievable.
I want to throw something out real quick that actually just popped in my head too. Daryl Morey just took Elton Brand to class, okay? Because you know what Daryl Morey did contingent upon this deal? He said James Harden has to opt into this next year. That's what Elton Brand should have done with Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Elton Brand, or obviously he didn't have an option, but you can agree on those types of things going forward. Daryl Morey said, nah, you're not going to give me James. We know that these dudes talk, right? We'll probably get docked the second round pick in 2031 or something. Who cares? For collusion. But I mean, Daryl Morey knew that James Harden wanted to be here at least another year. The dude is just 5 steps ahead, and he's just a smart basketball mind, man.
Bro, Daryl Morey and James Harden have the best GM to player relationship that I've ever seen in my life. What makes you think Harden doesn't want to spend the rest of his days with Daryl Morey? I mean, I wasn't afraid at all if we traded for Harden, he would walk. There's no shot, man. He wants to be with Daryl Morey. They were meant to be. And it's 15 years from now, you're going to find out they get married.
Wait till
Irish
Harden
was
hears
the
the
man.
Wells Fargo crowd, man. Wait till he hits that first 3 and the place erupts. He's gonna love it. He's gonna love
Irish says Ben has made 5 threes in his entire career. How much you want to bet Harden hits more than that in his first game as a Sixer? I'm betting on him hitting at least one. I'm gonna take a bet on over half, over 0.5 for James Harden for 3-pointers in his first game. Big fish, little boat. We finally did it. Get this man a new shirt. Me, Ben, who is that? Who you're talking about? Are you talking about this guy? Or who are you talking about? I don't know. What else we got here? AZ cards, man. Suns still slap both teams, so it don't matter. Okay, cool.
All right.
Thanks for
we
the
almost faced the guys the other night, so that was before we had James Harden.
What's that? What'd you say?
I said we almost took them down the other night. I mean, they're not unbeatable.
Yeah,
So,
we went down to the wire with them. And listen, I think what are your expectations for this season? Actually, that's a good question. With James joining the team over halfway through the season already, and trying to build this, I guess, chemistry really quickly and try to make a run. Like, what are your expectations this season?
Conference finals or bust. I think it's too much to ask the championship or bust, but we're as close to it without being it.
I mean, yeah, we need to get to a conference finals, but I don't know. I'm not really fearful of many teams in the East right now. I mean, I feel like we could go toe-to-toe with any team simply because they couldn't stop Joel Embiid as it is. Now you got to account for James Harden as well. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, he doesn't show up in the playoffs. Again, has he ever had a big man like Joel Embiid? I mean, it's a much different game. And Embiid's taking it to another level. I think we have as good a shot as anybody. And that's where I'll leave it at right now. We got to upgrade the roster still. I'm leaving it right there.
Yeah, here's an idea. What about March 10th? We get Ben Simmons to ring the bell.
If he shows his face.
Let's get Shaquille O'Neal to ring the bell because Ben hates him. Caller on the line. What's going on, man? You're on Run It Back Philly. Oh, he hung up, man. You were just in the chat. You told me it was you, Anthony. Anthony, call back, man. We'll answer. What do we got? Jans. Surely Harden rings the bell at our next home game. That'd be pretty cool. I'd be down for that.
Quick shout out to the people that tried to tell me I was an idiot because Steve Nash said James Harden was going to be on the team past the deadline. I tried to tell y'all, man. That man did not know anything.
No, he didn't know anything. Listen, it is this proves more than anything. Where there's smoke, there's fire, man. Like when I saw one report, I was like, all right, maybe that's just somebody making something up. When you see multiple people, an inside source told me this, an inside source told me that, and everyone's like, this is just people trying to get followers on Twitter or whatever else. I don't know, man. I think it's people that know people that know people. And, someone's like, yo, I just talked to so-and-so that just talked to so-and-so on the phone, and they said this. Like, that's what an inside source is. And it ended up being true. So, what's going on? You're on Run It Back Philly. Yo.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello. What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh shit! Damn, I put my phone on mute. My bad. But you guys are doing a great job. I think this was a great move by Daryl Morey. He's the GOAT, of course. I think us being patient was smart. We just got to upgrade our roster. I'm just a little bit nervous about Doc Rivers.
We all are.
Some of his lineups are very trash. Specifically that Suns game. He left. There should never be a point in the game where Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, Steph Curry, and Joel Embiid are on the bench at the same time. I mean, like that should never happen.
Yeah. I agree.
So hopefully, we get James Harden. I agree with you guys. We should be Eastern Conference or higher. I'm glad we got 2-5. I can't even say his name. I'm glad we got him out of here. I'm excited for the season.
Yeah, man, I agree. Hey, man, thanks for the call.
No problem.
I wanted to respond to something he said, and then I forgot. Kyle Craig, what's up, man? Thanks for the support. Finally, this is over, and we have brighter days ahead. Can't wait for that Harden City jersey. Thoughts on Thad Young, Bazemore, Terrence Ross? Didn't Terrence Ross go somewhere?
No.
Nah.
thought somebody.
Orlando didn't make any move.
Oh, okay.
No, they did. They got who did they get? They got Bol.
All right, so this is what Romp said last night, and that's what I wanted to respond to with what the caller just said. And thanks for the call, man. It was a good call. Romp was like, I actually kind of hope the trade happens because then there will be much more pressure on Doc Rivers, and if he messes it up, he will pretty much definitely be fired this season.
That's what I had said in that Twitter space a couple nights ago. Like the pressure's on now. And if you have expectations now. Like there's no elephant in a room where
no excuse, yeah.
Right. Like if we didn't make a trade and then we got bounced in the second round, it'd be, oh well, we didn't have enough, right? This guy was sitting out there. Now you got to do something with this roster. And if it doesn't happen, then something's gonna happen. Moves are gonna be made.
Yeah, I think it's clear now. Like, listen, I gave you James Harden. I gave you another superstar. And if you go into the playoffs and you play Furkan Korkmaz for 8 straight minutes at the end of the third and 6 minutes into the fourth and you lose, there's no excuses anymore. It's not like, well, we need a guard. Well, we don't have this. Well, we don't have. Now it's going to be like, it's kind of just you.
Yeah.
Kind of just you, Doc.
I hope it doesn't get to that point, man. Like I said before, like this trade, so many different reasons, so many problems it fixes, but a huge problem is that there is absolutely no chance in this world that Doc Rivers has any reason to have a lineup out there that doesn't include Harden, Maxey, Tobias Harris, or Joel Embiid, at least one of them on the court. And that alone makes us a much better team. That alone helps us beat the Suns in that game.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more, man. Another caller on the line. What's going on, man? You're on Running Back Philly.
Hello?
What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm very good after today, brother.
Hell yeah. I feel it.
Well, first thing I want to touch on is I really think we should look at the Phoenix Suns game from the other night. Steph Curry went 1 for 9, got us 3 points, and we went down to the wire with the best team in the entire NBA in the Phoenix Suns, right?
Yep.
We were in the number 1 seed last year. Yeah, Ben, what's his fucking face, choked for us. But no, we were right there in that dogfight, And then we're going toe to toe with the Phoenix Suns, and now you added James Harden to the mix. Are you kidding me? This is unreal. This is electric dynamite, my friend. I mean, you can't beat this kind of action.
Yeah, I agree. And part of the reason we were in that Suns game is because not only because Joel Embiid carried us and he's amazing, but Tobias Harris was having an amazing game. And shout out to Jimmy J for pointing that out, that Tobias had 30 plus. And it's like, if Tobias Harris's game is elevated from James Harden and Tobias Harris continues the play that he's been having, and, people that are trying to talk negatively about this are completely ignoring the fact that Joel Embiid's the best player in basketball right now and it was carrying any roster past a lot of teams in the NBA. It's just unbelievable how good this team already was with Joel Embiid playing at that level and how much better they can possibly be with James Harden on the roster.
Especially with how well
100%.
Yeah, man. Yo, thanks for the call, man. You got anything else?
Yeah, real quick. I wanted to say 2 quick things. One, the best part about this is if Harden doesn't work out, by then Maxey's going to be an all-star in 2 years. We're not left empty-handed. So the fact that we kept Maxey and Thibault, I don't care what anyone says. We fleeced the Nets keeping those 2. I don't care about picks. And the other thing is, how funny is it going to be when we play Brooklyn in the playoffs and Ben doesn't play when it's in Philly and Kyrie doesn't play when it's in Brooklyn? Think about it. That's the easy dubs, baby.
Yeah, thanks for the call, man. Amazing call. Have a good night, man.
I saw something on Twitter earlier. I was dying. I didn't even think about this, but imagine when Ben goes back to the Brooklyn locker room and Seth Curry's waiting for him, and Seth has to act like everything was okay. Like this man didn't just try to sit out as his teammate the entire season. What's Steph Curry going to say to him? Hey, how you doing?
And Andre Drummond.
Seth has got to be pissed. I read reports about how Seth is really excited to start a life in Philadelphia. He has a home. He's like his family, like the whole thing, how much he loves Philadelphia. I mean, I feel my heart goes out for Seth Curry because what do you just pretend that everything's okay when you look Ben Simmons in the face tomorrow or the next day when Ben Simmons' mental health all of a sudden disappears and he finally is ready to play? Dude, I just don't think I'd be able to play with a guy like that. Honestly, and I know they're professionals and they'll put it aside for when they're playing, but that's going to show up in a game, man. If I'm Seth, I'm pissed that Ben Simmons is the sole reason that I just lost my home.
And a chance at the championship last year.
Yeah. Watch
These
Seth
guys
come right back to Philadelphia when his contract's up.
How is everybody just all of a sudden forgetting how much of a scared fraud Ben Simmons is on the basketball court?
Unreal.
I don't understand how everyone's forgetting it. Kevin Durant's acting like he's happy now that he got Ben Simmons. It doesn't make any sense.
Nah.
And I get that you're Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, you guys want the ball in your hands so he doesn't have to have it, but just watch what happens in the half court, man. I can't wait. I couldn't even picture Ben Simmons playing basketball again. I thought he was going to retire. I couldn't picture him playing again. And now, like, I'm actually going to get to watch this dude embarrass himself for somebody else's team.
Next week.
That's why it's good he went to a team with expectations. You know, all the spotlight's going to be right on him from the jump. Like, he's ramped back up into conditioning. All right, you got to produce right now. We're on a 10-game losing streak. We got to win.
Terrible.
Imagine a game where Durant's not back yet and Kyrie is still out with the mandate, and Ben Simmons is on the floor by himself with Patty Mills.
Are they going to play him with Andre Drummond? Are they going to play them along?
Yo, did you see the starting five that they projected? It had Andre Drummond, Seth Curry, and Ben Simmons in there. I'm like, dude, the spacing between Simmons and Drummond have got to be the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah, people were talking about Ben Simmons playing a small ball five, and like realistically, like his athleticism and his size, he should be able to play the small ball five. I say this a lot for whatever reason. The guy can't guard the rim. He's 6'11" and can jump through the roof. He can almost dunk from the foul line, and he can't guard the rim. It doesn't make any sense. If he could somehow learn how to play, center, he could be an amazing like 2022 new age point center.
What did you used to say, DJ? The man has no touch within 5 feet at the basket. I mean, he goes up weird on layups. He doesn't have like a little, turn hook shot, nothing, like a turnaround fade, nothing. Like, what does he do under the basket?
He has no offensive game. He has no
put in transition. That's it.
Plus, he's never averaged over a block per game in a season. So what makes you think he can play small ball five?
Right. Is he a dog?
I've hardly ever seen him block a shot. I've hardly ever seen him block a shot.
He's a perimeter defender that should be playing center. So good luck trying to put him at small ball five.
I can't wait for James Harden to come out here. Like, how long have we been just out here? We need a guy to get us a buck. I can already picture James Harden, ISO Harden, just knocking one down from 35. Like, I can't wait for people. And I want to hear from Stephen A next week when both of these dudes play for their new teams. Like, we fleeced the Nets. I agree with the caller, man. We fleeced the Nets. I'm sorry, man.
I agree. Caller on the line, man. What's going on?
What a phenomenal day to be a 76ers fan, gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. What's up?
I loved how bitter Kevin Durant was during that All-Star draft that they just had. He was so bitter. He was butthurt.
He was, man. I agree.
Big props to RB because during your collaboration show last week, RB was the only one that.
Oh, where'd you go, man? Yo. Man, he was about to give you props.
Man,
I'm glad I didn't hear it. I couldn't hear it.
My flowers, man. Come on.
He was about to give you props. They didn't want it to succeed, man. I don't know if Kevin Durant was butthurt in the thing. I don't think any all three of them liked each other. That's the funny part.
Dude, Kyrie came out after and was like, "Thank God," basically. Paraphrasing. He's hyped.
We knew it, man. We knew it. You put three egotistical maniacs on the same team. It doesn't make sense. You have to have balance. Listen, at least if James Harden's going to be an egotistical maniac, at least on the Sixers, Joel Embiid And people that don't watch him play every day and don't watch his post-game press conferences, don't hear him speak, they don't understand this because he's a troll. He's the most humble NBA player I've ever seen in my life. He doesn't go anywhere. He doesn't buy cars. He doesn't post himself on Instagram. He doesn't do anything. He just wants to play basketball, and he's way too nice. It's his biggest flaw is that he's way too nice. He doesn't demand things from his franchise. At least James Harden doesn't have another big-time ego to battle with. Like, I don't think they're going to clash because I think they're two separate type of personalities.
I also believe that Harden knows that it's not his team, and I would be absolutely shocked if Embiid didn't challenge Harden sometimes when he needed it. Maybe this is the kick in the ass that James Harden needs, because the Nets don't have a leader. Kyrie was not the leader on the Cavs when they won it all. KD was damn sure not the leader on the Warriors team that won it all. And who was supposed to be the leader on that Nets team? They had no alpha. They just had a bunch of really good, just scumbag dudes. But now Harden's in Philadelphia, and Harden has a center who is an absolute dog. A dog who will be diving on the court with 15 seconds left, who wants to win more than the next guy, and it's coming from the best player, and that's what championship teams need. Their alpha to be their best player.
You know, I mean, you guys just touched on some really good points. If Kevin Durant thinks that he's getting away from like distraction with James Harden leaving, do you know how anticipated those first 3 press conferences are going to be for Ben? Do you know how much of a distraction that is going to be? Like, we haven't heard from Ben since Game 7. Since this, we haven't heard a video clip. We haven't seen audio, nothing.
Crazy.
It's going to be like the man disappeared off the face of the earth and came back from the dead. And all day, Kevin Durant's going to have to answer questions about, oh, well, how do you think Ben's going to be? You know, how do you think the last situation? Like, they're not getting away from any scrutiny. The Nets are going to be under fire way more than the Sixers. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely, man. Nathaniel, you know what this comment just made me realize? I can be James Harden for Halloween, guys.
You can. Yeah.
I can just put on a James Harden jersey. Yes, that's amazing.
Hashtag fear the beard, man. That's what I'm ripping now.
That's funny.
Oh, I'm so happy about that. We've been up here for almost 2 hours. I think I'm going to end the show soon. I don't know if you guys got anything else to give us. Thanks for everyone coming through, man. 826 people still in here. Dude, thanks for all the callers, man. There were some great callers. RB, Greg, anything else you want to throw in?
We did it, man.
So I'm looking at a tweet real quick. Looking at a tweet that says, looking forward to that full-page ad in the Philly Inquirer tomorrow from Ben Simmons thanking all the Sixers fans in the city. Yeah, right. Imagine. Yeah, today's a day to celebrate, man. We don't know what the future is, but the future just got a lot brighter.
We did it. We have a superstar in Joel Embiid. We have a superstar in James Harden. We have a decent supporting cast. We have a young star in Tyrese Maxey. We have one of the best defenders I've seen with my own eyes that we didn't give up in the trade. And we have Daryl Morey running the show. For once, our owners got out of their own way, and they said, all right, Daryl, go get some things to happen. And I talked about his resume earlier. We have an organization we can trust for once. We have like, even if this doesn't work out, Daryl will make things happen, man. And I think the biggest lesson here is patience, man. Like, even when things look bad, this isn't the old days anymore. We have a good organization, and it's crazy to say, but like, maybe the process did work. Like, maybe all this pain and suffering, like, imagine we go on to win a championship eventually. Do you know how crazy this story is going to be?
30 for 30.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so happy for Joel, man. He deserves this opportunity, and the season is saved, man. We have a shot, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. We all need to be happy for Joel Embiid, man. He's put his heart and soul into everything, from overcoming missing the first 2 seasons of his career with the broken foot, the rehab, the refracturing the foot, to just fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting to finally play the game because he knew how good he could possibly be, and developing and adding to his game every single year, and like crying after he lost in the playoffs, taking all the criticism, coming back again, stronger, in better shape. The dude never gives up. He wants to win so bad. He wants to be the best. He wants to win a championship so bad, and he finally has a player next to him that's one of the best players in the NBA. So, and this right here, time to counter. So right when those trades happened, the CJ McCollum trade happened, and then the Karis LeVert trade to the Cavs happened. And right when that happened, Joel Embiid tweeted, time to run, and then he tweeted time to counter, and then he tweeted time to ratio. And people were saying he was talking about soccer, and I was like, maybe he is, but it was just perfect timing. Like they did that trade. Now it's time for us to like. Did he know something this whole time? Do you think was he talking to Daryl the whole time?
Yes,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, we ratioed the hell out of all of those trades.
Joel's the man, and
Yeah.
I'm so happy for him. Yo, before we get off here, you got to pull up this video on the Brooklyn Nets Twitter page. It's it's the highlights of Ben, and it's 29 or like 30 seconds long. And they said he gets it done on both ends of the floor, and it's him just throwing down wide open dunks. It's actually hilarious. Like
one dude was like more like both sides of the COD map.
So they're really trying to sell it. They posted one of Andre Drummond too that said Drummond is a problem down low.
I'm just mad to emphasize the word both, as if like they were trying to send a message.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Gets it done on both ends? No, he doesn't. He doesn't do anything on the other end.
Look at the 30-second highlight clip. Like, come on now.
Here we go.
Simmons got it done.
Ben Simmons is so strong.
The Davis Bertans flop play.
Open with Simmons and he slammed for two.
Oh, that looks so good.
No, he looks weird in a Brooklyn jersey. I'll tell you, man.
Yeah, he does. That's crazy, man. Ben Simmons is a Brooklyn Net, guys. Ben Simmons is on the Brooklyn Nets.
A chest pass was a Simmons highlight.
They showed a Euro step and a weird finish at the rim. Like he easy layup, he throws it like scooped off the top of the
Oh my god! And the thing is, man, like his rookie. If you watch his rookie season highlights, he had so much potential, and it's like, as much as I hate the guy, I want him to play as good as he can play. But I've seen him regress every year. I don't think he has the fight in him, and I don't think being traded to Brooklyn is going to bring anything out of him.
And you know, I would love to hear I honestly would love to hear, because Joel Embiid apparently doesn't know what made him want out. Like, are we going to hear finally what was the deciding factor? I mean, Doc babied you. Joel was there. Like, what was the issue, man? Like, why wouldn't you get better at your game? Like, you won't even come out to I don't understand.
Imagine trading for a guy who stops playing the game of basketball after one sign of accountability.
I don't understand it, man.
Jay, he in the Toronto Raptors series, he averaged 9 points per game.
Yeah, from the moment the playoffs happened, we knew he was trash. This isn't anything new.
In the Atlanta Hawks series, he averaged 11 points per game, and he didn't take a single field goal attempt in 4 straight fourth quarters. That is the definition of trash.
Meanwhile, a point guard who shot 33% from the free throw line. I mean, you know,
it's not physically trash. It's mentally trash. You can be trash in plenty of different ways. The guy was gifted a size and speed and athleticism and vision that 99.9% of human beings have never had before, and he's mentally trash.
Dude, I can't believe he's a Brooklyn Net with Kevin Durant. Like, dude, there's going to be expectations from the jump. I'm telling you, if it doesn't go his way, I mean, he's not going to handle it well. So,
and just imagine, like, he doesn't like to be told what to do either. You know, people are acting like Ben Simmons is humble. People are acting like, oh, Ben Simmons is showing up to Brooklyn like, okay, guys, you know, tell me what to do. I'm ready to. That's not how he is. His whole career, from high school, college, and everything, it's been documented plenty of times. He needs things to revolve around him. He doesn't like to be told what to do. He doesn't listen to coaches. He likes to do. The first time Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving says, bro, you got to shoot the ball in the corner when we swing it to you with 2 seconds on a shot clock, he's going to have a meltdown and he's going to quit again.
He's going to have more of that now too, because I would assume he's not the primary ball handler, so the ball may be swung to him late in the shot clock as is now, and so they're going to have so many shot clock violations with Ben Simmons holding the ball in the corner for a three.
He's going to be down low in that dunker spot. He's not moving.
Nope.
And so help me if this guy comes out shooting jump shots. Boy, I mean,
dude, I'll walk to the Barclays Center and find him. I'll find him.
Well, Nets fans can't boo because Nets fans don't exist.
That's a good point. That's a very valid point.
I think it's because, like Nets fans are like, they moved the New Jersey Nets to Brooklyn, and that was when they did the Kevin Durant, the Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and all that. And I think they've just been kind of bandwagon fans from the jump, right? Like, oh, there's a new good team in the NBA. I'm going to be a fan. But it's not a fan base from within the city of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All those fans are Knicks fans. They've been Knicks fans forever.
You know that
I live in the area. That's how it is. It's Knicks.
Yeah.
Those two thought, Kyrie and KD, they thought they were gonna just mull an entire fan base of Brooklyn. They were a little bit wrong. I think if they could go back, I think they would go to the Garden instead. It just has not worked out in Brooklyn for them, and they don't have the type of pull that they thought they would that they would, just because they're Kyrie and KD, and they got James Harden. They still don't have a lot of Brooklyn fans showing up to the arena. It's sad.
Yeah, because it's New York. It's New York City. It's not casual fans. The Knicks fans are not casual fans. Like I say all the time, Boston, Philly, and New York, not casual fans at all. It's the wrong city to try to do that in. If you did it in LA, sure, LA can have 10 different teams. You're gonna get a bunch of fair weather fans to come be your fan. But that'd be like if somebody moves another NBA team into Philly and they're the Philadelphia Warriors or whatever. Sixers could be 0-82. They're still gonna be Sixers fans next season.
Yep.
Just the way it is.
All that being
guys.
said, though, I think it's
Go
a
ahead,
fair
man.
trade for both teams. My bad, DJ. I think
I
it's a
agree.
fair trade. At the end of the day, last thing I'll end on is the Nets won the trade, the Sixers won the trade, Ben Simmons got what he want, Daryl Morey got what he want. We'll see.
I want an Eastern Conference Finals more than anything I've ever wanted in my life.
More than anything. More than when Giannis sat on the logo. I don't care about that anymore. I forgive him. I forgive him now. I want Ben. I want blood.
I got one thing to end with. The people in the chat hating on this trade. I still don't know how you can be upset at this trade for the Sixers, but give it 5 to 10 games. Don't be one of those people that come back after one game with whatever happens and say, oh, well, this works or this doesn't. It's going to take some time for it to mesh. But when it does, don't say that we didn't tell you guys. Don't say that we didn't sit here and tell you this was going to be a lethal offensive threat between James Harden and Joel Embiid. It's going to be scary for the league. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I agree, man. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Thank you for everyone for coming through. Still 719 people in the chat. Hit the thumbs up on the video. If you're not subscribed to RB, I don't know why you wouldn't be already, but if you're not subscribed to RB, subscribe. If you're not subscribed to my man, Greg Melly, man, go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Great breakdowns. And follow us all on Twitter. Yeah, man. James Harden's here, man. It's a new day in Philadelphia. I don't know what else to say. I'm absolutely blown away, man.
We did it.
Run it back, Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. Peace.